Nigeria Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, has said that the war against insecurity in the country is going to be slow because a lot of people are benefiting immensely from the security challenges. General Musa stated this during Channel's television Sunrise Daily Live program on Tuesday morning. General Musa, who connected to the live program via video link, said that the Nigerian military has dealt decisively with the Boko Haram terrorists, but the insurgents have moved from their religion ideology to economic warfare. Adding, a lot of people are aiding them because they are benefiting immensely from what they are doing. The Chief of Defense Staff concluded that anyone aiding any form of criminality will now be classified as one of them. General Musa canvassed for a good salary structure for Nigeria soldiers, emphasizing that some Nigeria soldiers' salaries in a month is not up to 50,000 nairas. When asked if he is able to measure whether or not Nigeria making progress on any of the war fronts, the Chief of Defense Staff said it's going to be slow because we are dealing with people that are benefiting immensely from what they are doing. Advocating for better accommodation welfare for Nigeria soldiers, General Musa said, if today all these operations are over and we have to go back to the barracks, there won't be enough barracks for us. We have a responsibility to ensure that both within and outside, Nigerians are protected. I dream that every officer and soldier will have an accommodation and be able to say, this is my home, this is my barracks. Meanwhile, the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, urged Nigerians to be careful with their words and actions in order not to demoralize the troops of the Nigerian army. The CDS reiterated that the recent bombing by the Nigerian army in the Tondunbiri community in Kaduna State was accidental, urging Nigerians to understand that the incident was not deliberate. We understand that generally, everybody feels bad. We actually feel bad also. Anytime we have mistakes, we take ownership and we feel extremely bad about it, especially when we lose our own troops in the war. We just want Nigerians to understand that the incident was never deliberate. We will never deliberately target our citizens. Our mandate is to protect innocent Nigerians, and we'll continue to do that. It is unfortunate that out of the 99% successes that we've had, this one that we had has given us a lot of negative responses. But we know Nigerians want success, we are succeeding. The federal government has set up a committee that will look into it. We know at the end of it the truth will come out and everybody will really understand that it was definitely a mistake. While stating that justice will be served to anyone found culpable after the committee has made their findings, General Musa stated that Nigerians should not demoralize the troops by their words and actions. He said, we should not by our actions, inactions, utterances demoralize our troops. These guys stay awake so that we can sleep. I see a lot of people talking. It is easier for you to say that they made a mistake, they are not doing well, but what is the option? If they pull out from these locations, what happens? We will not even have a country. So for them to have stayed, slept in the darkness, in the sun, rainfall, dust and everything, just to ensure that me and you are able to sleep and do our normal routine, I think we should give them some accolades and some respect. General Musa, the accidental bombing incident occurred around 10 p.m. after bandits killed some of the troops.
Well, we still have with us the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa. General, it's really good to see you with us this morning. I know that you've had quite a number of engagements with the National Assembly. You appeared before them on a number of occasions. One of them also has to do with budgets and asking for more funds to support the work of the Nigerian military. I'm looking at all of the challenges that we're currently facing from the east to the west, from north to south. Are you able to measure in concrete terms, whether or not we're making progress on any of the fronts of the wars that we're currently fighting?
Yeah, thank you very much. We are actually making progress. It's going to be slow. It's going to be slow because we are dealing with people that are benefiting immensely from what they are doing. Most of it is economic. When the Boko Haram incident started, it was ideological. But now that we've defeated them, we've pushed them down so much, it is economic. And because we have a group of Nigerians that patronize these individuals because they make so much money, and you can see the process they make from from kidnappings, from abductions, and from all this stuff. So, and I always said that Nigerians must take ownership of our challenges. It is only when we do that together we can win this battle. Let those trading with them, supporting them, the logisticians as we call them, let them stop. We have a lot of individuals that fund them, that give them this. And those are aspects that we need to be able to checkmate. The kinetic effort is ongoing. We're doing so much and we're achieving a lot of success. Just a few days ago, we've taken out a lot of them. These things don't actually come out. And we don't want to just run to the media as if we are making... what happened? We're just trying to make... we're not trying to push these efforts to make it look as if we are campaigning. It's not a campaign. This is a military campaign that we're doing. And it is important for Nigerians to take ownership of it. We're succeeding and will continue to do better. We're hopeful that the budget, when released, when we get the funds, we'll be able to get the much needed equipment that we need. We're leveraging a lot on technique, the moral aspect of it, that will actually ginger the troops to want to do more. And especially on the issue of Nigerians, also encouraging the men. I mean, we have seen other countries when military men come into airports, how they are being applauded. They get first-class treatments wherever they go to. When they go to buy things, they get the debate. We don't get all those things in Nigeria. And yet we're doing such services. We're not saying that everybody should give us everything that we need, but I think we should be considered, and the troops deserve commendation. I have told you as a commander, my greatest pain is when I have to face the family of my either officer or soldier to tell them they lost their breadwinner. It is painful. You go back with nightmares when you close your eyes. Nigerians should understand that these people have their families all over. Just the way we're enjoying with our... Now it's holiday period. A lot of people are on holidays, have traveled abroad. We don't have that luxury. Most times you don't get to see your family all over this period. These are sacrifices they make, and I think we should look at the aspect of trying to commend them. In the communication, what we are telling our nationals, I mean, for some people to be supporting secessionist tendencies, as you have said, against the unity of the country, I think that's very concerning. But I'd like you to speak, if you want, you may speak to that, but I'm very concerned about the welfare of your men spread all over the nation. There are those who believe that the military has been spread so thin and consequently unable to really do some of the primary functions for which it is called according to the Constitution. What are the challenges that you are aware that your men are having in terms of their welfare so that they can give their hearts and soul to the services that they have to offer to Nigeria? Okay. If you look at the Constitution, our primary responsibility is the territorial integrity. But if you look at the territorial integrity, it is implied that charity begins at home. We cannot be protecting the territory and the home front is on fire and then sit back and watch. And our training is such that we train even on police duties. So when people tell us it is not our responsibility, yes, it's not our primary responsibility, but we have a responsibility to ensure that both within and outside, Nigerians are protected. And that's exactly what we're doing. Now, I mentioned the other time the issue of welfare. Over the past few, we have, on average, the armed forces recruit over 15,000 personnel, both officers and soldiers, into the system. We are not building new barracks. We know efforts we have, the budget has captured some of it. We need to do more. We need to renovate the old ones because they've been there for ages, so that we can fix them. My dream is for every officer and soldier to have an accommodation that he can look up and say, look, this is my own, this is my barracks. We trained a lot because of the operations we're conducting. A lot of the officers and soldiers are out there in the field. If today all these operations are over and we have to go back to the barracks, there won't be enough barracks for us. The issue of ration cash allowance where we feed, like I've informed you, anytime we're on operations, I, as a general, I'm being fed on 1,200 per day with my soldiers. From the first general, appreciate the fact that they have not been forgotten and their efforts have been appreciated.
About I know that you have spoken in some area, some forum, where you spoke about how the commentary that came through from Nigerians about the Tunumbiri bombing somewhat affected the army. But several others thought they were pointing those things out to ensure that, it doesn't happen again and the right things are done. So if you speak about that, did it really affect the morale of the troops? And could you also tell us if there's an update on the investigation of the matter?
Thank you very much. We understand that generally everybody feels bad. We actually feel bad also. Anytime we have mistakes, we take ownership, and we feel extremely very bad about it, especially even when we lose our own troops in war. We just want Nigerians to understand that the incident was never deliberate. We'll never deliberately target our citizens. Our mandate is to protect Nigerians, innocent Nigerians, and we'll continue to do that. And we have continued to do that. It's unfortunate that out of the 99 successes we've had, this one that we had has given us a lot of negative responses. But we know Nigerians want success, and we are succeeding. The federal government has set up a committee that will look into it. We don't want to make comments about what has happened, but we know at the end of it, the truth will come out, and then everybody will really understand that it was definitely a mistake. That same incident, there were a lot of activities that were ongoing within that general area, and we were on because a few years before then, some troops were killed. And so we're actually monitoring the movement around that area. And unfortunately, this other activity happened 10 p.m. at night, which was very strange. But like I said, mistakes were made. We'll make amends. Just for Nigerians to understand, the armed forces of Nigeria is solidly behind the federal government, solidly behind Nigeria. Our mandate is to defend democracy, and we'll continue to do that. So nobody should have any fear. We'll take amends after the committee has come up. We'll take correction. Anybody that is found to be culpable will face the music. But like I said, we should not, by our actions, inactions, or utterances, demoralize our troops. These guys stay awake so that we can sleep. I see a lot of people talking. It is easier for you to sit back and say they made a mistake, they're not doing well, and this. What is the option? If they pull out from these locations, what happens? We will not even have a country. So for them to have stayed, slept in the darkness, in the sun, in the rainfall, in dust, and everything, just to ensure that me and you are able to sleep, wake up, go to our office,